Hey gang, your Guitar Sage here, and today we are going to learn about harmonics. Different techniques for using harmonics, not just your simple these harmonics, but we're going to learn what they are and how to use them, and just different ways that we can come up with them. Okay, so what are harmonics? Harmonics are basically little magic spots on the string, if you will, probably more mathematical than they are magic, but there are spots on the string that chime, if you will, or that resonate in a certain way that if you don't actually press down completely on the string to where the string meets the fret, but to where in fact you just actually take your finger and place it right above the fret that you're intending on playing. So if this is my 12th fret here, get a pick. If I want to play this fret right here, or play that harmonic on the 12th fret, then what I do is just barely touch the string. So I'm not fretting it, I'm just barely touching the string, and I get this chime type sound. Okay? Now, before you try it yourself, because I know this because I teach one-on-one students all the time, and the first thing they do is they hold their finger straight over this part. This is not the fret. That wire is the fret. You can hit it 1,000 times here, and you're gonna get that noise. So save yourself 1,000 times from doing that. Scooch it up right over the fret. Okay, for the 12th fret, directly over that fret wire. I can't stress that enough. If it's helpful for you, take a little Sharpie pen and draw a little dot on your strings there right above it, okay? Because that's a little magic spot that you want. And now here's the technique for this basic harmonic, for the basic harmonic. On the string there's harmonics all over. That's when you just hit a string multiple times, like I just did, without fretting it, without pressing it down all the way. You can hear the string change in pitch. Okay, but specifically at the 5th, 7th, and 12th fret, there are some really loud sounding harmonics. So you can even hit one at the 9th fret, but really 5, 7, and 12 are your magic spots, if you will. You can hit multiple, if you will, hit multiple spots on the guitar like that as well. Okay, so 5, 7, and 9 are our ones to remember, and remember directly over the fret wire. Now, here's the technique that you're going to be using for playing really crisp, clean harmonics. With the right hand, you want to pick hard. And when I mean hard, I don't mean like going bam, just like uncontrolled. I mean a very controlled, nice snap of the string. So this is going to get you a lot nicer of a harmonic than that kind of wimpy little pick. Okay, you really want to give it a press down hard with your pick and let it snap off. Okay, so the technique is pick hard with the right hand, lay your fingers softly with the left hand. Okay, so I'm not laying my whole hand on it, I'm just laying my finger just over that fret, just barely, and just hardly touching it. I'm touching it for sure, but I'm not sitting there fat fingering it. That's fat fingering it. That's the sound I'm getting. Not very good. This one is from lightly touching it. Okay. The other technique that's extremely important when you're doing harmonics is the second that you hit the harmonic, lift your finger up, or just a fraction of a second afterwards. This can take a bit of practice. I see people do it and they're like, and I'm like, no, you got to hit it first, then lift your finger. Okay. It's not, you don't have to do it immediately, but the sooner you do it, the longer that chime will ring out. Okay, so same thing with the 5th fret. 7th. And the 9th, like I say, don't really get one out there. You've heard this in tunes, like for instance in Crazy Train, and it sounds so much better on an electric guitar, especially when it's got some distortion run through it, some overdrive. But you've heard this in Crazy Train, if you know the song, when he goes, so there's these like little chiny clicking type sounds, and you just don't hear it very well on the acoustic, but you can hear that one a little bit. Okay, so again, 5, 7, and 9 are the ones that come out. These don't come out as nice. They're usually a lot more volatile, meaning they're harder to get out, but they're kind of crazier sounding. So a lot of times they're a lot higher sounding, or crazy assortment of overtones, and you can get some really cool sounds out of it. Okay, so that's our basic harmonic. And those are probably the ones that most guitar players have been privy to or been shown. But this other type of harmonic, of getting harmonics, is basically the same idea, but we're going to be using some right hand technique, and our left hand is just going to be playing notes. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Well, this 5, 7, 9, and this is a lot of people don't know this. Some guitar players do, and that's great. Here, now you're going to know it. But the 5, 7, 9 bit is not just for that. Okay, it's for the open notes. So the rule goes that harmonics can be played 5, 7, and I'm sorry, 5. I said 5, 7, and 9. 5, 7, and 12. The rule is that you can play a harmonic 5 frets, 7 frets, or 12 frets above whatever you're fingering. So if it's open, then it's 5, 7, 12. But if I'm fingering a note, say on the 3rd fret, here we go, 3rd fret. Then if I go up 5 frets from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I should be able to get a harmonic out of there. Okay, now it's a lot harder to do because you don't have this in a great big old pick to get that out, but you can with the right hand. This is a classical technique. I've seen classical guys do this, and I learned this in classical school, is that with your right hand, and as you notice, my right hand is a little bit deformed, if you will. It's cattywampus, because I've had all sorts of, I got attacked by a dog on this hand, and arthritis, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's been through the treadmill, if you will. But I can still do this a little bit. That's why I don't play classical guitar as much anymore. But with your right hand, here's the deal. First finger at the 3rd fret here, what you're going to do is you're going to count up 12 frets. So take the 12th fret here and go 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is what we're doing basically. We're at the open position here in the 12th fret here. We're going to move up 1, 2, 3. Get it? So for as many frets as we go up here, we go up that many frets here. So remember, that's not our spot right there. Our spot is the fret. Okay, so that's our magic spot right there. If I pluck this, get a nice chime out of it. How am I plucking it? Okay, this is a technique that takes a little getting used to too, and it's kind of an advanced technique. But what you're going to do is, with the first finger, you put it exactly where the harmonic would be. And with either the 2nd or the 3rd finger, you need a nail, preferably. You pluck the string. And then you lift the finger up. Okay? So this is cool for okay, so that's kind of the classical technique, if you will, for coming up with these harmonics. And remember, the world's your oyster here. Whatever you do, so I was playing an A minor chord, and then I was doing the form A minor up here. So that note is open, that A, so that's easy enough. These next two are up 2 frets, so I'm going to go up 2 frets up here. First finger's up 1 fret, so I'm going to hit that guy, and this guy's open here, so. Huh? Nice, right? So you could play pretty much any chord in Harmonics if you want. So that makes a nice like layer in the background, like on a studio track or something like that. Okay, so that's the right hand technique as far as that. Now there's another way that Eddie Van Halen made a little bit more popular, but guitars still, some guitar players know what he's doing and some of them don't if you haven't kind of investigated this. But he does this little pop thing, and I guess he didn't invent it, but he made it kind of popular. So for instance, if I want to play this harmonic 12 frets up, by the way, back up a step. For everything we just did, we can do 5, 7, and 12. Okay, I'm doing 12 because they sound best on the acoustic. Again, an electric and distortion really bring that out. On an acoustic guitar, it's the 12th fret is typically the one that's going to sound. It's going to sound the loudest. Okay, so back to this new technique. So, for instance, if I'm playing at the 2nd fret here on the 3rd string, I could come to the 3rd string here, 2nd fret. So this is my, or 14th fret if you will, here's 12. So again, let's do this. 12, because we're open. 1 and 13. 2 and 14. Okay? If you're back here, it's not going to sound good. If you're up here, it's not going to sound good. So you got to make this math work out 100% perfectly. There is no room for error. It just won't work. Okay? So now, here I am. This is the fret that I want the harmonic on. So you can call your buddy in to pick it while you do this, but that doesn't look very cool on stage. So you want to be able to do it yourself, right? So if I want to agitate that string, I can do this, or I can snap it. So what I do is, with this finger here, I go. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of hammering this, kind of like you'd thump somebody in the head. Don't do that, it's really mean. But you can do it to your guitar all day long, it sounds cool, right? So at the 14th fret here, just snap it right over the fret and actually let the string snap and hit the fretboard. If it doesn't, you're going to get this sound. Can't hear anything, right? That's the sound you'd get, but you have to have it snap against the fretboard. Okay, now there's some cool things that can be done with this, like not very loud on the acoustic, of course, but you can do some really cool things with it. So you can play riffs down here, just follow it with this hand for whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, wish I had the electric plugged in because it would make this a lot cooler. But there you go. That's a lesson on harmonics. If you haven't already, go to yourguitarsage.com. There's a great ebook there. If you like the way that I teach, check out the other few hundred videos that I've got online here under Your Guitar Sage. Go to the website there and hit subscribe. And yeah, yourguitarsage.com. Get that ebook. All right. Until later, keep practicing.